Shalom. Kal halayim la Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles. Double honors to the elder bishops of Great Millstone as GMS. Peace and blessings to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. This is about the Mayim coming to you with a short lesson. Now I got this Dreams of War, time almost up from Arrows of Indignation 144. It is a young lady, I believe from the Southern Kingdom, just from the looks, but she was going into a dream that she was having about war, war breaking out, and we are in the time of war. As a matter of fact, let me grab that first. But I wanted to bring out a few precepts, and Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Now, the purpose of war, we're coming into the time of World War III, is for Yahweh, who's the Most High, whom the word ignorantly calls God, to send Yahweh Shai, whom the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, to save the nation of Israel. We're in the year 2025, the hopeful year of deliverance of the nation of Israel and destruction and judgment upon Esau Edom, which is the self-proclaimed white man, and then also the other heathen nations. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So right now we're living in a time of war, and we're not going to have peace again until Yahweh sends Yahweh Shai and the heavenly host. And the heavenly host are the angels, the Lord of Sabaoth. That goes into the Lord of war, the Lord of armies. But again, we're living in a time of war, and we're not going to have peace until we're delivered, until we're saved out of, this captivity under Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Joel chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass after, Salaki, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. So, dreams and visions is what she was going into. But it says, your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, which means to say before. She's saying before things are going to happen. Martial law breaks out. Part of her dream, she was going into the military showing up, but they were checking for IDs, which that portion of the dream, she didn't really, go too in depth. But I think that's the MOTB, the mark of the beast. You can read that in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17. I like to call it the microcharagma, because we're going to that word mark is charagma, which goes into an insertion. That RFID microchip was going to be the size of a grain of rice. Esau Edom is going to want to insert that into Salakia, into all of the world. He wants to chip everyone so he can keep track of everything from what you buy, your medical records, so on and so forth. All of that's going to be stored on that RFID microchip. But also, I was thinking about them asking for ID going into 2nd Esdras chapter 15. Let me get that. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So it's going to be 15-minute cities, but it's going to be harder and harder to travel, when martial law breaks out. You're not going to be able to just move around all willy-nilly. They're going to be asking for IDs. There's no telling what else they're going to be asking for, but ultimately they're going to be asking for the RFID microchip, for you to be scanned, whether it's in your forehead or anywhere in your hands or anywhere in your body. Don't take the microcharagma. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. This is going into martial law. Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai shall lift up a standard against him. So when the enemy shall come in like a flood, like she said, she was, with her relatives, and then all of a sudden, what happened? Military personnel broke out in all black. They could be the UN troops, sleeper cells, so on and so forth. But they came in like a flood. You know, they came in while they were relaxing, you know, in that time of Noah spirit, you know, partying, marrying, and giving into marriage, you know, eating and drinking. But the Lord, but the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, shall lift up a standard against him, you know. Lord willing, we can receive those spiritual powers, you know, to be protected, to heal, you know, to defend one another. And then another part of the dream too, she was going in about how she started praying, and we're gonna have to be as pilgrims upon the earth, but hey, we're gonna have to pray more and call upon the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 10. The name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So hey, we need the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to be protected. Because if the enemy is coming in like a flood, hey, you know, a lot of brothers and sisters may get, you know, swept up. You know, some may have to be mortars. You know, we don't know who is who. But Lord willing, we can endure unto the end. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So we're not worried about the sinners and the ungodly, because we know that ultimately they're going to be a part of the 2/3, you know, from the nation of Israel. That'll be the 2/3 that will be destroyed in Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8 and 9. But the righteous scarcely shall be saved. You know, in the twinkling of an eye, you get beamed up into that fathership. You know, that's the goal, enduring it to the end, to get beamed up, to be scarcely saved. Ultimately from those ICBM thermonuclear missiles that's going to touch down here in Babylon the Great. And then one other point towards the end of the video, she kind of quoted this precept too, Matthew chapter 24 verse 6. You know, she was going into wars, but basically saying that the Lord was saying, hey, don't worry. And we should have that mindset too coming into World War III, because we know that with World War III, it's going to be the downfall of Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon. Especially when those ICBM thermonuclear missiles begin to be shot off, we know that America is going to get hit with 200 million ICBM thermonuclear warheads. But Matthew chapter 24 verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. And that's pretty much what she was saying. Don't worry. You know, don't be troubled. Why? Because we know that, hey, this has to happen in order for us to be saved. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. You know, that's not going to be the end of it. It's not going to end until, you know, Yahweh says Yahweh Shah, and we get beamed up. That's going to be the end of this rulership, when we have Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathens in chains, putting them in captivity. But the last precept I had was Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15. See, then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So circumspectly, you know, going in like circumference, being 100 or 360 degrees, Salakia, being able to see all around, all over the world, being on your watch. And spec, basically being on your watch, you know, watching what's going on, watching these prophecies. As we get closer and closer to World War III, continue to heat up. As you see China saying they're ready for any type of war with America. You know, America is trying to have peace talks, you know, peace deals with Russia and Ukraine. But hey, ultimately, as the scripture say in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3, you know, peace and safety, then sudden destruction. And that's what we were waiting on, the destruction of this place, Babylon the Great. But hey, call upon the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, you know, which is what the elect will do in these times to be saved. And let me grab that to end it off with. This is the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So the names is Yahweh, which in the Hebrew, Yahweh means he is, he exists. And his only begotten son's name is Yahweh Shah, which he is salvation, he delivers. Call upon those names, Yahweh, Bah Hashem, Yahweh Shah. And Bah Hashem is in the name. Ba is in, Ha is the, and Sham is name. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, we can endure into the end. Call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles. Double honors to the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. Shalom.